6928 Hollywood Boulevard may not immediately spring to mind as a landmark address, but when you say Grumman Chinese Theatre, most people know exactly where you mean. For over 80 years, movie stars have cemented their place in film history by performing a simple ceremony in Sid Grumman's legendary forecourt. As stars such as Brad Pitt from the movie Ocean's 13 was about to do, a selected few were added to the Parthenon of Hollywood mythology by writing their names in cement. There's always plenty of Hollywood whooping and cheers from the fans who always have to queue for their spots. Pitt was joined that day by George Clooney, Gary Wycroft and Matt Damon. The ritual is to press their hands or feet, or sometimes their hooves, into wet cement, sign their name, often with a simple message. This ceremony took place close to the 80th anniversary of the first signing. Since the famous theatre restaurant opened in May 1927, there have been over 200 names etched in the cement. Darth Vader, robot C-3PO and Tom Mix's horse Flicker are the only non-humans to have their names immortalised. And if you're a movie fan, you would know most of them. It's a tourist ritual to walk down Hollywood Boulevard and read the names. Many a movie premiere has been held here, perhaps the most famous being the original Star Wars in 1977. The Chinese Theatre was Sid Grumman's attempt to expand his business after opening his successful Egyptian theatre in 1922. It took him another 5 years to open his more oriental version, and he needed financial help to do it. Sid owned a 1/3 interest with his partners Mary Pickford, Douglas Fairbanks and Howard Schenk. Pickford and Fairbanks, seen here signing a deal with, among others, Charlie Chaplin, were huge stars at the time. Hollywood was in the middle of its marvellous Dream Factory era, and Grumman's Chinese launch coincided with Cecil B. DeMille's epic, The King of Kings. Perhaps not surprisingly, the first two stars to have their names laid down in the hard concrete were Fairbanks and Pickford. During construction, Grumman specified he wanted extremely hard concrete laid in the forecourt. The exterior of the theatre resembles a giant red Chinese pagoda. The architecture features a huge Chinese dragon. Sid sold his share to William Fox's Fox Theatre in 1929, but remained managing director until his death in 1950. Since the early days, Grumman's Chinese Theatre has been home to many premieres, birthday parties, corporate junkets, and 2 Academy Award ceremonies. The Hollywood Dream Factory couldn't exist without the fans. We mentioned earlier that it's nearly mandatory for fans to queue for anything in Hollywood, but these Star Wars fans took it to extremes. They began queuing 6 weeks before the release of Star Wars 5, The Return of the Sith. And what made their dedication all the more intriguing was that it had been announced that the movie premiere was to take place at another venue.
We'd love for the people running the Chinese or whoever's in charge to actually notice that we're here. A lot of us are flying in from Australia and Britain and investing a lot of time and money, and we're hoping that they will see us as dedicated enough and fond enough of the Chinese theatre that they will actually show it there.
In the meantime, these obsessive Star Wars fans had plenty of time to learn how to master their lightsabers and appreciate the grandeur of Grumman's Chinese Theatre.